In one small town, two men lived just 3 doors apart. One was rich, one was not, and only one of them would be remembered when everything was gone. Every morning before sunrise, the baker lit his oven. The smell of warm bread drifted through the narrow streets, waking shopkeepers, children, and travelers passing through town. The baker had a simple habit. When someone looked tired, hungry, or lonely, he offered them bread. Sometimes he was paid, sometimes he was not. He never kept count. Across the street lived the banker. The banker wore fine suits and carried a leather briefcase. His house had high walls and locked gates. People knew him as a man of numbers, not names. When someone greeted him, he nodded without stopping. When someone asked for help, he asked for documents. The townspeople noticed the difference. At the bakery, people talked, laughed, and rested. At the bank, people whispered, worried, and waited. Years passed. The baker grew older, his hands rough from dough and heat. The banker grew richer, his vault heavier with gold. Then one summer, disaster came. A sudden flood swept through the town after days of heavy rain. Shops were destroyed, homes collapsed, the streets turned into rivers of mud. The baker's shop was damaged, but the oven still worked. By morning, he was baking again, not for profit, but for survival. He handed bread to families, workers, even strangers from nearby villages. The banker's house, however, was badly hit. Water ruined important papers. The vault door jammed shut. His money was trapped inside. For the first time in his life, the banker stood in the street with nothing but wet clothes and fear. He went to the neighbors. Some turned away. Some did not recognize him. Some remembered how he had ignored them for years. Finally, he walked to the bakery. The baker looked up and smiled. Without a word, he handed the baker a warm loaf of bread. Later that day, townspeople gathered. They cleaned streets, they rebuilt homes, they shared tools, food, and strength. The baker stood among them, working quietly. The banker hesitated. Then he joined. For days, he worked beside people whose names he had never learned. They taught him how to carry wood, how to fix roofs, how to listen. When the town slowly recovered, something had changed. The banker reopened his bank, but this time the door stayed open. He greeted people by name. He listened before calculating. And the baker? He returned to his oven as he always had. But now, when the smell of bread filled the street, two men stood in line together, no longer divided by wealth, but connected by respect. Moral of this story? Money can build walls. Kindness builds bridges. When everything falls apart, relationships are what remain.